Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
I don't know, man. It feels like every day is Wednesday, and I can't stand
it. Well, I love it, okay? I love doing this show. I'll tell you what I don't love. I don't love StreamYard, okay? I know you guys heard me go on this rant about StreamYard. StreamYard out the gate is saying that I have a bad connection. I do not have a bad connection. I just want you guys to know that, okay? I have lightning speed internet over here, okay? It's plugged in, okay? It's not even.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe Verizon's the one who's lying?
Well, yeah, listen. That's a separate battle. But I checked, okay? It's not them. They didn't throttle it down, all right? And I just want you guys to know, if you ever hear me bigging up StreamYard, just know we got the bag, okay? That's the only way you're going to hear me say anything good about StreamYard. All right, let me get off this rant, man. I can't stand them. But I love you guys, okay? Shout out to everybody that's in here out the gate. We got our brother Raven C. Raven C, have you hit 2,000 subscribers yet? He is very close. So if you're not at 2,000 subscribers, let us know. Put the link to your channel. We need to get our brother Raven C to 2,000 subscribers tonight if he isn't already. All right. Go over there and hit that subscribe button. Shout out to our guy Hendo, who was looking for 1,500. Did he hit 1,500? I don't know.
No, I'm pretty close.
Okay. We have two goals tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Raven C, 2,000 subscribers. Ravens Online Ungatekeepers, 1,500 subscribers. If you can do that tonight, and I know you can, go over there. Takes 2 seconds. Hit the subscribe button, please. All right. And shout out to MDT Sports. Says, "What's up, Ma? What's good with you? Thanks for coming through." Mr. J the Sixth, what's going on? I said we made it to 7:15. Yes, we did. We are here. Raven Ron, what is going on? Big Raven Ron, his new nickname is #cashed. #cash. That's gonna be your new nickname. What up, LBHT? I don't even listen to Ravens all-season conferences. It's just lies. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I caught some notes from what was said today, but I'm the same way. I don't believe anything they say.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll talk about it. What's going on, Danny? Danny says, "Happy nepotism, people." Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming through. Our brother, Mr. OTR Mike, says, "You glow about your interest as mine is down right now." Your internet, not interest, internet. Oh, your internet's down? Man. Yeah, well, I don't have to tell you, man. But look, it doesn't matter. I mean, StreamYard doesn't care whether it's up or down. They're like, we're not going to give you good quality. So it is what it is. I might as well be streaming from my phone. Just Aloe says, "What up, LBHT crew? I hope all is well. Best show in town." Thank you, Just Aloe. Says Lamar has been tweeting up a storm lately. He ain't worried. He shouldn't be worried. Speaking of subscribers, our guy Living Big with Big Reg has a YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Shout out to our guy Living Legend, man. Not Living Legend, but Big Reg. Shout out to Big Reg. There you go. Raven Ron says straight cash. Straight cash. That's what I'm talking about. Yolanda B, what's going on?
What's up, Yolanda?
Yes. Marco G in the house says, "What's good, fellas? Only wide receiver that should return next season is Bateman." Wow. Everyone else 100% discount clearance aisle. Everything must go. I think Duvernay can stay. Duvernay's got some value.
Duvernay's not a wide receiver.
Well, whatever. He can stay. He's got a wide receiver position, but whatever. Anywho, yes, we will be talking about the Ravens and the Panthers. It's combine week. The combine has started. We will discuss what the team should be looking at the combine, what teams are talking about, and who are certain teams talking to. Yeah, we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss Lamar apparently can't get a big shoe deal because he doesn't have an agent. We'll discuss EDC saying that he has all the faith in the world that they'll get the deal done. Well, all the nonsense that they're saying over there
before Tuesday.
He said before Tuesday.
He said he wants to get the deal done before Tuesday.
That's the deadline, right? Yeah. Okay.
Franchise.
Yeah. Okay. We'll discuss all that nonsense. And I don't know if you saw the title, B, but Jon Jones is back. Jon Jones has returned. Okay. For you USC fans, you know who Jon Bones Jones is. If you're not a USC fan, Jon Jones is possibly the greatest USC fighter of all time.
Very likely.
Very likely.
Almost definitely. And he's also, you know, I mean, he's a complicated guy. Like sometimes he's a superhero outside of the cage, and sometimes he's a super villain.
and really, like he did it not really putting his all into the sport.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that more. Jon Jones is a very complicated person, very polarizing, and we're happy he's back. I'll tell you that. Okay. All right. We got a lot to discuss. You know, NBA. I mean, like it's NBA season. Our teams are down a little bit right now. We're going to discuss that too. Yes, Jon Bones Jones is a monster. Facts. And listen, man, like for a long time, like Spider Silva is my favorite fighter of all time. Very entertaining, and at his peak, man, he looked like he was unstoppable. I would take Jon Jones over Spider Silva. You know, both of them in their primes. I take Jon Jones. You know that. I mean, John. Yeah. I mean, it'd be a good fight, but at their peak, I think Jon Jones probably has the edge there. All right, look, we're gonna get into. I mean, we can't avoid it. I mean, Lamar hasn't been signed, and we got to talk about Lamar. I'm sure that'll be a big chunk of our show. We got to talk about the moves the Panthers are making. The Panthers, you guys better watch out. They are making some moves, right? This move, B's not a huge fan of it, but I am.
They're not making this move.
Well, listen, they're discussing it. I like it. I mean,
they just chilling in Indy. They ain't nothing to do yet. Nobody's doing any drills. They're just talking.
Yeah, they're talking.
Everybody's talking. They talked to 6 quarterbacks.
All right. Before we get into all that, we like to start every show. Oh, even before that, I forgot. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. All right. So wherever you're watching us, thank you. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. I mentioned Living Legend earlier. Shout out to Living Legends. Yes. He says Jon Jones kept the plug lit. Yes. Yeah. Yes, he did. If you live near Jon Jones and you about that, yeah, you say the business. Yes, but also if you are listening to the audio podcast, it was Thursday. Hope your lunch is going well. And we are available wherever you listen to podcasts. So make sure you follow us in the podcast form if you listen to audio. All right, Couch Rider, what up? Thanks for coming through, bro.
What's up, Couch?
All right, now we're gonna get this show started with a Black History fact, and B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah, just gonna be real quick. Creed 3 just came out to pretty good reviews, and everybody's all excited. And one of the things that people were kind of excited about and talking about, and it was revealed during the Super Bowl trailer, was that the final fight between Michael B. Jordan and the rightful champion Jonathan Majors was that was going to take place at Dodger Stadium. And the reason that kind of excited people is because there aren't boxing events at Dodger Stadium. The reason that there aren't boxing events at Dodger Stadium is kind of going to be the Black History fact. It's not a happy one, but everybody knows, or most people know Emil Griffith, right? The former champion from St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands. They know him for killing Benny Paret in the ring. Well, not in the ring, but he died 10 days after their fight, and that was something that kind of haunted Emil Griffith for a long time. He said he would have nightmares about him. Emil Griffith was later on, about 2 years after that, year and a half, 2 years after that fight, he was scheduled to fight in Dodger Stadium against Luis Rodriguez, the beginning of a trilogy of their fights. And, he ended up losing a 15-round decision. He came back and won the 2 subsequent fights. But there was another fight on that night with Davey Schultz Moore fighting against, I believe it was Sugar Ramos. I don't have his first name here. I think he just went by Sugar. And they were Davey Schultz Moore was a featherweight, a pretty good featherweight. He was about 30 years old. 59-7, I believe, was his overall record. Late in the fight, it was round 10, he got knocked down and he landed with the back of his neck on the rope. And, they said those are really kind of just like steel cables. So he hit the rope, right on the back of his neck and bruised his brainstem. Now, nobody knew at the time because he got up and he finished the round. You know, he didn't get knocked down again, and the referee stopped it in between the 10th and 11th round, giving Ramos the win. And they said that, you know, he gave an interview after the fight, you know, and he seemed fine. He went back to the dressing room and collapsed, went into a coma, and died about 3 days later. And so ever since then, you know, they don't have any boxing events in Dodger Stadium. It would say, you know, I mean, it was obviously a tragic thing, and it brought a lot of negative attention to the sport in general about how barbaric boxing is. You know, Bob Dylan wrote a song about Davey Moore, as he does. You know, a lot of people wrote articles. You know, he wrote one about Reuben Carter also. That's kind of his thing. But there was a lot of attention given to it. And it just struck me because I had heard about Davey Moore before, but I didn't realize that Emil Griffith was on that card as well. Just, you know, a year and a half after he killed another fighter in the ring as well. So it was a very bloody time in boxing history. Very corrupt. Very, you know, a lot of just terrible events going on in boxing. But that is the reason that they don't have, or they haven't had any boxing events at Dodger Stadium up until now. Creed's going down. I'm calling it, even though it's already been filmed and people already know the result of that fight. Jonathan Majors is the winner. He's going to be the new champion, and it's going to be I don't know his character's name is Damien something. It's going to be his series moving forward.
Okay, just a Michael B. Jordan hate over there. Sheesh.
Look, he's not a good actor. He's a terrible actor.
He's not a terrible actor. He's a good actor.
He's a very bad actor.
Don't talk about Wallace.
And I just don't. Wallace. He played Wallace horribly.
He did not play horribly.
He played Wallace horribly. No. And you know what? I can't.
That was very emotional when he got to get killed.
Yeah, it was emotional because Bodie's a great actor. All right,
because he was pleading for his life. He was just a kid.
It was emotional because Bodie's a great actor. And I don't like the fact that he's out here talking about
Raven Ron didn't even
be anime.
He didn't even say spoiler alert or anything. He's out here just spoiling the movie.
Ron, I ain't seen the movie. All right, I don't need to see the movie. I know Michael B. Jordan can't fight.
Yeah, NDT Sports, Ja Morant suspended indefinitely. We're gonna talk about that too.
I thought that was a false report that had already been proven false previously, or is this something different?
Well, I saw earlier that he that there are some more allegations of him, you know,
beating on teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. We'll look into that. We'll verify that before we report it. Okay, because we're responsible reporters.
Hey, ain't nobody tripping, Griff. He can't fight. What's wrong? What is controversial about that statement? He's an actor.
Everybody loves Michael B. Jordan except for you, hater.
That's not true. That is not true at all.
What's up, Zico Kage? Thanks for coming through, my friend. Joy Walker, what's going on, Joy? Thanks for coming through. Enzo Uchiha, what is going on? Yes. Top billing. I see you in here. He said,
I don't understand the Michael B. Jordan hive. I really don't.
Well, now you know. And shout out to Marco G for the 333. Says, did you guys see the NFLPA survey for the Ravens? Oh, yes.
Do you
want to start there?
Oh, no. I was going to say that for later, but Top Billing says Bobby Lashley was the most dominant.
Well, I got finished reading this.
Turned UFC fighter. Okay, my bad.
I'm sorry. I got
thought you were done.
No. I got excited. Some of these results are bad look for Harbs and the organization. Also, credit to EDC for at least admitting and accepting ownership that they haven't hit on an elite wide receiver. Nice to see accountability. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He can be accountable for things he doesn't care about. He already said he didn't care about that. Okay. Top bill. What you got?
He said Bobby Lashley was the most dominant wrestler turned UFC fighter, even better than Brock. I was watching some of his fights and he was dominating. He was in like Bellator. He wasn't even in UFC. He ain't better than Brock, and I hate Brock.
Yeah, he ain't better than Brock. I'm sorry.
Couch Rider asking if I'm going to fight him. I will fight him in a heartbeat.
Who?
Michael B. Jordan, I guess. Not Brock. Not Bobby. I'll fight them. No, I don't want to fight Michael B. Jordan. I don't dislike Michael B. Jordan. I just don't think he's a very good actor. Hopefully, he's a good director. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I mean, he's likable enough. He's like Keanu Reeves to me. where Keanu can't really act, but he's fun to watch. People like watching him.
Everybody loves Keanu.
Yeah, you can't not love Keanu.
Listen. Saying he can't fight isn't a diss to him. He's an actor. Let me say, time out. You don't think he can actually box, do you? You don't think like he can get in the ring with a professional boxer and win, right?
Thank you, Zeke. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Zeke said he got money on B. That's right. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If any celebrity ever called me out for a fight, athlete or whatever, I'll show up for the right amount of money. But as soon as I get touched, I'm I am out. Okay. No. You put hands on me, I'm going straight down. Do not touch me. Okay. Michael Jai White is the GOAT. Okay. Michael Jai White, he can throw down. He ain't Jon Jones though. Nobody is Jon Jones. Okay. All right. Hey, it's Brandel Bazel.
Bazel. What's up, Brandon?
I got it. What's up, Brandon? What's up? B double. That's what you call it. Or B squared. Is that what we said? B squared?
Yeah.
B squared. That's your new nickname, Brandon. B squared. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. And Big Red says Josh not suspended. They had no evidence that Adam Silver announcement is fake. Okay, there you go. But the allegations are true, correct? I believe the allegations are true. Or are you saying that they didn't have any evidence? Okay. All right. Look, John know how to cover his tracks, man. He bought that life. Okay. So where we start?
It's from last summer. I thought that somebody had said that it had already been kind of dismissed and it's just coming up now again for whatever reason.
Okay. All right. Okay. Where we want to start? We want to start with all right, we're at the combine, ladies and gentlemen. The combine is here. It has started. Did they start workouts today?
I believe the workouts start tomorrow.
They start tomorrow. You know what started already? These donations. Appreciate you, Raven Ron, for the 333. Says, y'all know who can act? That's right. Christian Bale, especially in the Batman roles. Yes.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Y'all know what it is with Christian Bale. If you don't get the reference, our friend Suge Knight 323 hates Christian Bale. There he is right there. There's the hater. Okay. We had too much fun here. Okay. The combine is here, ladies and gentlemen. And look, we talked about this on Coach's stream. You know, what we think the Ravens should be looking at. We're going to kind of continue this conversation here. But it's simple. The Ravens should be looking at wide receiver. They should be scouting every last wide receiver. In fact, they should be scouting scouts too. Okay, scout some wide receivers, and scout some more wide receivers. Naturally, they're going to draft other positions. We know that, but that's the only thing I want to see them really hyper focused on. I don't care about cornerback. I don't care. It better not be linebacker. It better not be. Right. It better not be edge rusher. Right, it better not be anything on defense. Offense, you know, they're always looking at tight ends, but it better not be that either. O-line, that's the other one. O-line and wide receivers. I don't want to see anything else. Now, me and B haven't done a deep dive into this class yet, so we're not gonna. I don't have a whole lot of names to drop. B might have looked a little bit more into it, but our guy Chris from Deep Cover Podcast has a video out right now breaking down the wide receiver draft class. You need to check it out. Okay. So go over to Deep Cover Podcast and make sure, let me put them up. Deep Cover Podcast looks like that. Make sure you go over there, subscribe, and check out his video. All right. Your thoughts, B?
Yeah, no, I think that absolutely they need to be looking at wide receiver. Eric DaCosta said as much, that they're going to keep swinging, and he thinks that, if he had done a better job, essentially, that they would have some better wide receivers, on the team. And I'm like, you're the guy who last year said we believe in all our wide receivers and we're not going to do anything. But all right, whatever. Maybe you're learning from your mistakes, but it has to be wide receiver. And just the thing with Baltimore is it always turns out that, hey, you know what? We realized that wide receiver is very important, and we have to go get a wide receiver when it's a down year in the draft for wide receivers. They don't ever take the wide receivers when you have these historic classes. They skip out on those. They get their middle linebackers in those classes. Right. But when it's a down year for wide receivers, and they think maybe, hey, maybe we can get one on the cheap. Maybe one will just fall to us. Then they want to go and draft a wide receiver. It's not going to be enough. Okay. There's Quentin Johnson. I don't think he'll make it to Baltimore, but there's, Jalen Hyatt, Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Like, there's some guys who have talent who would, obviously upgrade Baltimore, because anybody would upgrade Baltimore's receiving core. But I don't think that you're looking at any true difference makers, at least not early on, with any of these wide receivers. They need to go and get a proven player. And you know what else they need to be looking at is the Georgia offense, because apparently John Harbaugh didn't look at it before he hired Todd Monken. In what was a devastating blow to everybody who said, "Oh, this isn't nepotism."
Yeah.
So
is that what he said? He said he didn't look at the offense.
He said he didn't really study the Georgia offense before they hired Todd Monken. Yeah, because look, his sister vouched for him.
Look, it's all good. I saw some arguments on Twitter about it. We try to get involved in Twitter arguments too much, right? But I saw the arguments about whether or not it was nepotism. Obviously, right? It's nepotism, and these things can't be proved 100%. But what seems more logical, right? That it is or it isn't. Like, Harbaugh, he hires relatives and family, and he's no different from any other coach. Like, let's be real about that, right? So this isn't singling him out.
I want to just point out right now, sorry to cut you off, but Frank Reich went outside of his circle to hire both the coordinators in Carolina. Please continue.
I bet you. Wait. Every coach on his staff?
I said both the coordinators.
Yeah.
Thomas Brown and Evero, the offensive and defensive coordinators.
Yeah, look, good for him. Good for him.
Damn right. Good for us. That's why we're a better organization than Baltimore, factually.
Well, we will get to that too.
Yes, we will. I've been hearing a lot for several years about what a great organization the Baltimore Ravens are. It turns out not so much.
According to the players. And we can laugh at it because Washington's worse than everybody. But okay, all right. You threw me off.
I'm sorry.
It is nepotism, right?
Yeah.
And he pretty much doubled down on it. First, he said, "Hey, this guy wasn't on our radar. We were going to interview him." Then my sister said, "Talk to him." And looky here, he got the job. So you interview this guy, and I guess he said today that he didn't even look at Georgia offense. So you interviewed him, and you didn't look at the offense. So you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't do your homework on him. What did you look at? Right. And I understand if you want to say, okay, that's college. Maybe I want to go back and look at his pro stuff. Okay, cool. But you're still going to look at his most recent work.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you're John Harbaugh and you're lazy and you don't care who your offensive coordinator is.
Yeah. This is 100% nepotism all the way. And it makes me feel like they weren't really talking to Eric Bieniemy. Or trying to get Eric Bieniemy.
And look, to be fair, it's very possible that Eric Bieniemy said, "You haven't signed Lamar yet. Well, that's all that we need to talk about," and just moved on.
Oh no! Like it's both here, right? I think it could be Eric Bieniemy and these other coaches that they talk to want to know what's going on with Lamar, and they're like, "Hey, we don't know," and Todd Monken is the first coach to be like, "Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I just need a job." And they're like, "All right, cool. You're our guy." Either way, no matter how you look at this is bad.
Yeah.
Right? Because that tells you they didn't hire who they thought was the best coach. And they took their time with this process. And they still didn't hire the best coach. Now, I don't think everybody that they interviewed said, "Hey, if Lamar's not there, I'm not taking the job." If they did, that would be bad too.
Yeah.
But that just tells us, man, like this whole thing was just a sham. They just hired who they wanted to hire. What's going on, Nitro? Nitro says, "Hey, LBHT Ravens are tripping." Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, he said that nonsense. He acknowledged that the wide receiver room isn't necessarily elite, which he knew already, and he said in the past that he doesn't care about that. Right? He doesn't want an elite wide receiver. right? He doesn't want a wide receiver that's going to come here and ask for the ball, right? And complain about not getting touches, right? Which is why he don't want J.K. Dobbins on the team. After J.K. Dobbins out there saying, man, I need to get the ball at the goal line, right? Hand me the ball so I can score for you guys. They don't like that either, right? Look for them to move J.K. Dobbins. He does not want any like alpha types in that locker room. He don't want anybody that's going to speak out like that because his ego is fragile. Shout out to Anthony Price over there on Facebook. Says, if the Ravens say Lamar is the future, why he not signed yet? Bam. Exactly.
Yeah, you need answers, right?
EDC said, it's not a world that they won't live in where they don't have quarterback. So they know, they know they're not going to get better than Lamar. It's just not possible right now.
I feel like EDC both of them want to sign Lamar, and that it's just Steve Bisciotti saying, no, I'm not writing that check.
Yeah. Shout out to OTR Mike. Says, good thing I'm not a head coach because I would be hiring all my boys as well. Me too. Well, listen. I would until you show you can't do your job, right? We've talked, and Mikey, we've talked about this, right? I get a head coaching position. Of course, I'm going to hire B. Of course, I'm going to hire Mikey. Of course, right? Those are my boys. I'm going to give them a shot at it. But if I see one of them can't, they're not good at their job, right? I don't have to fire you, but I'm going to tell you, hey, look, we got to bring in somebody that knows what they're doing. I'm going to slide you over to this other position real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you can kind of learn from him or whatever. You can either accept it or go somewhere else. That's fine.
Give you morning wig and hop on your motorcycle and head on now.
Yeah. That's what
I will say this. I will say this though. If you feel like I'm bad at the job or I'm not doing my job properly, I think you need to look at them players first. Okay? Because EDC ain't been giving me what I want. So get them up out of here. Let's get a fresh crew in. And then if it's still not working, I'm going to be man enough to say, man, we need some more players again.
Yeah. But
we got it wrong twice.
But also, man, like this is the business too. Like when you hire your friends, sometimes you got to fire your friends. And, if I'm in a position, B hires me and I'm not doing my job. He says, hey, man, I got to let you go. It's fine because I'm going to get all my money. Right. And these aren't like nothing contracts, especially G-Rose contract, right? Hey, you get to cash out early. All right, cool, right? G-Ro ain't going to be jobless for the rest of his days. He's going to get other work. Probably not a coordinator position, damn sure not a head coach position, but he will get work, right? So it's fine, man. But like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that part necessarily. I have a problem when you have somebody like John Harbaugh, who doesn't have friends that can coach. Apparently,
I've never seen a less desired successful NFL coordinator than Greg Roman. Nobody wants this guy. He was on a Super Bowl team in San Francisco. He coordinated one of the best offenses ever in 2019 with the Ravens. They scored a lot of points in Baltimore, a lot of points. They won a lot of games under Greg Roman. And every single team in all of football says, no, I will pass.
Yeah. Big Reg has a question. And make sure you guys are subscribed to Living Big with Big Reg. Do that now, please. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, we need to count what's going on with Raven C's channel. Raven C, have you hit 2,000 yet? Raven C is this close to hitting 2,000 subscribers. Make sure he crosses that line. And also Ravens Online Ungatekeepers is close to 1,500. So if you please go over there and hit subscribe, we appreciate that greatly. There are 86 people in here. You can subscribe over here too if you're not subscribed. All right. But Big Red says, do you think Harb steps down if they don't sign Lamar? Now, we've brought this up before. We said that EDC should step down if they don't get the deal done. EDC should be like, look, if you don't get this done, I can't have my name tied to this mess, right? I'm going to have to step down. I can't go any further, right? I'll help you throughout the draft or whatever, and then I'm gonna go ahead and step out or whatever. But I don't want to be tied to this. But what are you reading?
Raven says he's 9 away, so we gotta make that happen tonight.
9, please. 9 people. Go and hit the subscribe. 9 people. That is Raven C right there. Like it says his name, Raven C. Okay. go hit the subscribe button right now, please. I would really appreciate that.
And for our guy Suge too, Suge Knight 323, go over there, hit subscribe. Listen,
he says I'm at 125 subs on my channel. If anyone cares, we don't really care. I'm just messing with you, Suge. We care, right? Look, don't worry, we're gonna plug all everybody's stuff later on, but we got some milestones that are within just a click's reach right now. Please go over there and do that. What's going on, Sharon? Thanks for coming through. And I'm sorry I cut you off.
Hendo saying he's 29 away from 1,500.
There we go. We can do it. Ladies and gentlemen. But yes, EDC should step down. But John Harbaugh and EDC should be working in unison because they're both going to get fired if they stay on board after Lamar leaves, right? They both should be going to see Bashadi and saying, look, if you don't get this done, we're out. We are out, right? Both of us, same time. I will retire, I'll retire and EDC is going to step down or whatever, or he'll retire, whatever. And you let whoever take over the team. Like, it has to be done. So that's what it should be. But Harbaugh, nah. Harbaugh going to stay as long as he can. What's going on? Attitude Pop says, he says, how you meet with Lamar when he ain't returning your calls? Why wouldn't he want to meet with you without getting the money he wants? I believe that Stephen said it's from Lamar's camp. Stephen A, I think he meant to say. Yeah. Stephen A says Lamar's camp. What reason do they need to lie? So EDC said today that he was in contact with Lamar, right? They had some great discussions. So
he said he agreed with Lamar to keep everything in house, and they've been talking, him and Lamar.
Okay,
what you been talking about? Like, it's not.
When did they agree to that? Was it after the Stephen A report came out? He's like, hey, look,
I'm saying it's like, what do you talk about?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have the deal done. It doesn't sound like it's close to being done. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Whatchamacallit, what's going on? Thanks for joining the live stream. Says they fumbled this. You are the head coach, and it's your job to find an OC to replace your OC, but you never got a chance to watch film. So what question did you ask? My brother or who referred you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, in this case, his sister, not his brother. Yeah. That's and the fact that he doesn't have the wherewithal to know that sounds bad. Right? What's going on, Coach? Appreciate you. Sip 2 Tally Films is another. Look, we're gonna go through the whole roundtable approved channels for you guys to subscribe to. Okay, I know YouTube peppers you with all these suggestions. You should go here. You should go there. We got you covered. Don't worry about none of that. We're going to tell you where you need to go in these YouTube streets. Okay, so you don't turn down the wrong road. All right. What you got, B?
We're gonna switch gears right here because there's a lot of little comments like your boy Aaron. So hey, I see Derek Carr spending lots of time in Panthers facilities. Okay. He's not in Panthers facilities. They're in Indianapolis.
Well, hold on. We'll get into that. But I want to tease what we're going to talk about later because we're not done with Lamar because apparently Lamar can't get a shoe deal without an agent. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the Panthers meet with Derek Carr. Look, I think that's a good thing. I like Derek Carr. Derek Carr had a bad year last year. I don't think he's washed. I don't think you've seen the last good play from Derek Carr. I think he was in a bad situation with a bad coach. Yes, they had some weapons there, but bad coaching will tank all of that. And I think he would do really well with the Panthers. I think sign him to I know you said a 1-year deal, like a 2-year deal or something like that, or 3-year with the team option, and draft your quarterback. But I think you can get some good play out of Derek Carr.
Look, that's not my issue with Derek Carr. And I mean, congrats to all the Ravens fans for trolling me about signing a better quarterback than you have. But it's just the fact that you're picking 9th. Go and draft your quarterback, and they did start talking to Sam Darnold's people about bringing him back for the year to kind of let him be that bridge, and that I'm fine with. I just think Derek Carr is going to want too much money. He's going to want to be a long-term answer. I was wrong last week. I said he's 34. I don't know why I thought that. He's 31, turning 32. So, he's not old. He wants to be the guy.
But may I interject? I don't think he's going to demand a long-term deal right now, right? I don't think anybody's going to offer him a long-term deal after getting cut. Like he's going to have to do like a prove-it contract.
I don't think he will. I think teams will offer him a long-term deal. I think the Jets will offer him a long-term deal. I think there's other teams that will offer him a long-term deal. He has a long enough history, and people know Josh McDaniels. they know about him. They know what he's about. I think he's going to take his time and go around and talk to a bunch of teams. I mean, there's 3 teams in the NFC South that'll offer a long-term deal. So I think if that's what he wants, he can get it at 35 plus a year. I just don't want that to be in Carolina. I think Jacoby Brissett, Sam Darnold, somebody like that, to allow your rookie quarterback to sit for a year, depending on who it is. I mean, if it's Anthony Richardson, you definitely want him to sit. If it's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, you're looking for a backup in free agency, right? And that's definitely not what Derek Carr wants to be.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Now, look. The reason why people tease you is because your reaction to the news initially, right? You gave the impression that Derek Carr, you think he's a bad quarterback. Now, look, Enzo Uchiha says Derek Carr signed with the Panthers coming soon, and he's laughing, right? Okay, now, all right. I want to see if you guys laugh at this comment from OTR Mike. OTR Mike says, well, B, if you get Carr, you get to keep Horn and the 32 other players you would send to Baltimore for LJ. What if they sign Carr and they add him to a package for Lamar?
Well, no, look. They're not gonna add.
You typically can't do that. You typically can't.
You're not gonna add Derek Carr. They're gonna add the number 9 pick, and it's gonna be Anthony Richardson sitting behind Baker Mayfield, and then you're not gonna be laughing at anybody.
Oh, you talking about the Ravens?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, could be.
They said they're very interested in the Baker.
That wouldn't surprise me in the least. But yeah, I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I think playing what?
I'm sorry. Like, I just can't get over this Todd Monken thing. Like, you're talking about, I didn't look at what he did. Like, why would you say that? He was an offensive coordinator in your division a couple years ago, and your sister had to tell you about him? Yeah, you definitely got the guy you wanted. You definitely got the best coordinator out there. Way to go, Baltimore. That's why y'all are ass, and all your players think so.
Again, anybody that doesn't see this as a big deal, I just want to ask the people that think it's not a big deal is because they are looking at everything through the lens of Lamar Jackson is coming back. If Lamar Jackson was already gone, like they have already traded him, and all you had to do was focus on the offensive coordinator and what they do in free agency, would you feel good about what they said about Todd Monken? You would not. Right? That is the power of Lamar, because Lamar is so good that other stuff doesn't matter as much. Like, okay, whatever. He's just talking. Lamar will figure it out. But if we do end up with Baker Mayfield, if we do end up with the Derek Carr, somebody that's a lesser quarterback, you're not going to like those comments that are being made about Todd Monken. I didn't actually look at his resume. I just, he knew my sister, so I hired him. Yeah. What? What? No.
G says, be out here trying to sell the Panthers organization for Lamar. Panthers organization ranked higher than Baltimore's, according to the players. So I don't have to sell anything.
We're going to talk about that. Before we get into that, Combine talk. Who do you want the Panthers to, or what group do you want the Panthers to look at?
Oh, it's absolutely quarterback, 100%. Right up until they engage in Lamar Jackson trade talks. If it gets to that point, it's all about which quarterback are you going to take. Are you going to be able to sit at 9 and take somebody? Or are you going to have to trade up? How far are you going to have to trade up? Bryce Young is sitting out, which, oh my God, I saw the video of him walking in with a tight end. And he looked like he was about, he's 5'10", and he looked like he was about 3 inches shorter than the tight end. And the people commenting, they're like, the scary part about that video is that tight end is 5'10". So who knows how big Bryce Young is? I want to see what the official. I haven't looked at the official, like the weigh-in and the measurements and everything. But I want to see what he actually measured in at. But yeah, he's not going to throw because he's Bryce Young. He's the man. He knows that. Not Levis. I thought you liked Levis, Coach. I thought that was your guy. But yeah, CJ Stroud is going to throw. Anthony Richardson's going to throw. Will Levis is going to throw. So they need to be locked in on those guys. They talked to Hendon Hooker as well. That would be just in case. I think if they tried to sit at 9 and then nobody fell to them, they could trade back and try to get Hendon Hooker. It's definitely those guys. Okay.
Like you said, the tight end was really 6'6".
Yeah. That video was pretty funny. But so it's that's the position. They also need to look at tight end. They also need to look at wide receiver. And then it's Carolina. They have holes, right? They need to fill in some holes on defense. They need to fill in. I think they need to continue to add to the offensive line. They have some injuries there, and just some players that they can look at replacing. But the big one, like I said, it's quarterback all the way, and then on that second tier, wide receiver and tight end, because they need to get more than just DJ Moore out there for them to throw to.
Yeah. Now, Aaron Butler says $35 million for Derek Carr. Have we discussed his awful win-loss record? Now, I hear you. And, I think that goes on the quarterback's resume, right? Whether you agree or disagree, that is something that is taken into consideration. But I think he is a good quarterback. What is the Chargers QB?
Justin Herbert.
What is Justin Herbert's win-loss record? I don't think he has a pretty good win-loss record. I mean, this is his first time making it to the playoffs, but he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. That's obvious, right? That doesn't tell the whole story. And $35 million, I think that's a steal.
Yeah, it's a bargain.
Yeah,
for a good starting quarterback.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Also, I want to add this too, because I get you. Because I bring it up too. I bring up win and loss records along with everything else. So I'm not totally dismissing that. But I mean, take a look at what the Rams did with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, I still don't think he has a career-wise winning record.
No.
I think if he does, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. So for his career,
they were terrible this year.
Yeah, for his career, he has a losing record, but he was an obvious upgrade over Jared Goff, and that's what they needed to get to the Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, an upgrade like that for the Panthers. Not saying you necessarily win a Super Bowl, but you will be you'll be competitive for sure.
Yeah. Quarterback win-loss records are like, pitcher win-loss records or goalie win-loss records. Yeah, they're the most important player out there, but it is not an individual sport. You don't win and lose games by yourself. Now, with quarterback, you look at that over a long term, right? If you have a great quarterback, you think, hey, over a number of years, you should win more than you lose. Now, Derek Carr is not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Who's been the quarterback of a bad team for a bad organization. So he's 16 games under 500 for his career. But again, yeah, he's not a great quarterback, but he is an upgrade on what Carolina has had recently. He's an upgrade on what Baltimore has currently. He's an upgrade over what the Jets have drafted. So like he's a good option for a lot of teams. I just don't think that Carolina's a great spot for him, considering they can draft their future quarterback right now. He needs to go somewhere where they don't have that ability or aren't looking to draft their future quarterback, where he can slide in and be the quarterback for the next 6-7 years.
I think it all depends on the opportunities that are available to him, like what he's offered. Because if you do get Anthony Richardson, most people don't think he's ready right now. He needs to develop a little bit. So Derek Carr coming in for a year or two and playing at a high level will give the Panthers time to develop their quarterback for the future and put Derek Carr in a position to get another big contract, just like Alex Smith did with the Chiefs. So that might be a perfect situation for both sides, right? You can't dismiss that. So I mean, I think it's good that they talk to him, and let him know. So that might be, and if Anthony Richardson doesn't work out, you have a quarterback until you look for somebody to replace him. Now, see, look, he says Herbert is barely 500, just like Burrow. Okay, but they're both good, right? Mm-hmm. Look, if we don't get Lamar, would you not want one of those quarterbacks? I mean, you can't get them, but you wouldn't want somebody like that, because there aren't that many top tier quarterbacks and top tier quarterbacks with winning records. All right. Don't give up, guy from Newark. He says, I give up. Let's go Pro Bowl Huntley. Don't give up hope yet. Don't give up. All right. Brian Colvin, what's going on? Says, am I the only one having issues streaming on YouTube app on the phone? I don't know. Are you guys having issues streaming on your phone?
It says it was choppy for him at one point as well.
Okay. If it is, look, we have other streaming options. Okay. We are streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on Twitter, and we are streaming on Twitch. Any of those places at LBHT Show, just like our handle says right there. Oh, their car's covering it up. I'll take it off. Okay. All those places at LBHT Show. You can watch the stream. One of those places should be working fine. Okay.
We've got a couple comments I want to point out here. Brandon says, and you based everything on win-loss record on the Ring Kings pound for pound list. That is hilariously false. If that were the case, Canelo wouldn't even have been on the list.
Well, first of all, win-loss in an individual sport is completely different.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Canelo didn't lean on his wide receiver for any of those wins he got in the ring. But that's not what we based it on. But now Top Billing says Carr has had, and I saw your other comment, Top Bill. I'm just going with the shorter one right now. Carr has had more talent through his career on the Raiders than anything Lamar has had. Carr even had a prime Amari Cooper. I mean, let's give a standing ovation for prime Amari Cooper for a moment there. I mean, prime
Amari Cooper has been
good receiver, not great receiver.
Yeah, not great, but consistently good.
Yeah, unless you're playing on the road. But I'm not understanding. Like, nobody is saying that Derek Carr is anywhere near Lamar Jackson. Nobody is anywhere has said something like that. Oh. He's a good quarterback who's been on a bad team. Lamar is a generational quarterback who's with a bad organization. So yes, his results are better, but nobody is saying that Derek Carr is Lamar Jackson.
So yeah. Okay, listen. Those type of comments are Ravens fans. I need you to understand. This is the reality that you're going to be looking at if Lamar leaves, because Derek Carr isn't talking to the Ravens right now, right? So if this trade falls through with Lamar, or this deal falls through with Lamar, they have to trade him. The quarterback that you get is going to be worse than Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. Just understand that. So everybody that's saying, "Oh, no, we don't want Baker." Oh, no. Well, that's the caliber of quarterback you're probably going to be looking at. So, yeah, you better put some pressure on them. Stop, if you're one of the people kissing up to EDC and the organization, oh, well, I'm a Ravens fan, not a Lamar fan. Yeah, okay. We'll see. We'll see how much you like it with Baker Mayfield at quarterback. We'll see how much you like this team with Baker Mayfield and that guy from Georgia coaching the offense. The guy from Georgia who I didn't take time to look at, vet him and see what kind of offense he runs or any of that stuff. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Sure says, what are we talking about, Jose? You got a Pro Bowler in Huntley. We do have a Pro Bowler in Huntley. Yes. Facts. Nobody believes that. Mikey says, Lord, if we end up with Baker, Stetson Bennett.
If you end up with Baker, it'll be your own fault for laughing at me about having Baker in Carolina.
Yeah. Aaron, I'm not sure what you're saying. He's breaking down definitions of a quarterback. Yeah, that's fine. The point is Derek Carr is one of the better quarterbacks. You can argue about the record, that's fine. But who would you rather have in Baltimore, Derek Carr or Baker Mayfield? Because all right, we're going back and forth between Panthers and Ravens here, all right? Because you guys are trying to get on beat that they're talking to Derek Carr. I'm arguing if they get Derek Carr and we lose Lamar, we won't have anybody better than Derek Carr. Who do you think we can get if we trade Lamar? Who do you think we can get that would be better than David Carr or Derek Carr? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Tell me, who do you think if the Ravens trade Lamar Jackson, deal falls through, we got to trade Lamar Jackson for whatever. Even if you think through a trade we can get somebody. Tell me who you think we can get that'll be better than Derek Carr. I'm curious. I'm curious to hear that.
I'll tell you
who.
Diva Aaron Rodgers. You can get him for probably 7 games until he realizes who he's throwing to. It says, "Get me the hell out of here."
Touche. Yes. You could get Aaron Rodgers. Are you good with Aaron Rodgers? Justin Fields. Yes, I said Justin Fields on the roundtable on Monday.
If we they're actually trading him,
but that's if we had to do a trade, I would want Justin Fields or Trey Lance in return. Like realistically, like those are the two teams that would realistically say, okay, yeah, you can have this quarterback, right?
And if you want to talk about record and stats, Justin Fields is not better than Derek Carr,
right? Or Trey Lance, right? I mean, Trey Lance isn't better than Derek Carr either. If you're talking about that, but I mean, just compare their careers right now. I wouldn't say either one of them are better than Derek Carr. No, neither one of them had the career that or any of the top seasons that Derek Carr has had. So that I like the potential, but okay, Justin Fields is one. Marco G says CJ Stroud or Lamar. That's it. Well, we wouldn't be able to get CJ Stroud. Unretired Tom Brady. Okay, Jimmy G's better than Derek Carr.
Not better than Derek Carr. Not at all. No. Not in anybody's opinion but yours. That's why he is constantly looking for a job.
What's up, Chris? Chris says I want Prochet to start so he can get a number 1 pick if Lamar is gone. Hey, speaking of Chris, this is our guy Chris here from Deep Cover Podcast. Okay, Deep Cover Podcast. Make sure you go over there, hit the subscribe button. Okay, if you want to learn about the wide receiver class, he will break it down for you. Okay, so go over there, hit the subscribe button, please, and thank you. Let's see who else we got. You guys are being real quiet over here. Antonio Taylor says Trey Lance. Okay. Todd Dillon says Trey Lance is trash. I don't agree with that. I think he has a lot of talent. John Berger says 5th most wins in the NFL since year 2000. Bad organization. Oh, okay.
John Harburger.
Yeah.
Listen, we're not the ones saying that. The Ravens players.
We didn't say it. We didn't say it.
Baltimore, the 17th best organization in the league.
Argue with them. Shout out to Marco G for the 333. It says trivia question for y'all: who's got the hands of Larry Fitzgerald, frame and size of Megatron, route running of Jerry Rice, and speed of Tyreek Hill? That's right. You guessed it. The one and only James Prochet. Listen, shout out to everybody that's been donating. If you want to be awesome, right? I know you guys are wondering how are they donating? I don't see the super chat option here. We have super chat a little differently over here. Okay, we do it differently. Right below B, $ LBHT Show. That is our Cash App. What we got here? We got a subscriber. Appreciate you. What's that say? Muscala something controller. Okay, thank you. Appreciate this for the sub. The Cash App, $ LBHT Show. Also, that pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our stream elements. Both ways, you make a donation, leave your comment, and you get the animation right next to my face, right? Or if you are on YouTube and you have a public profile and you subscribe, we'll also give you a salute right there. All right. So thank you so much. There he is. How do you pronounce that? Please break that down. Muscala. I don't know. What is that?
Coach says, chill with the Prochet slanders. Y'all have been warned. Don't take that over to Sip to Tally Films. All right. You leave that right here.
That's right. Leave it right here where it belongs. Okay. In the dumpster. Be the change you wish to see says they aren't paying top dollar and training and medical staff is sus. So 17th is a little high. Okay, let's get into it because nobody has answered my question of who would you take if we had to trade Lamar, who would you take that was better than Derek Carr? What's up?
I did it again. Every single time I upload a picture for the Black History Fight, I forget to use it. This is Davy Schultz Moore, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Davy Schultz Moore. Nice.
I downloaded it mostly to prove that he's black because his middle name was Schultz and his first name was Davy. So we will start with Carolina because Carolina is a fantastic organization, ranked 12th in the league. A for treatment of families, tied for 2nd. Food service not so great. D.
Wow.
Weight room, B. That's tied for 18th because everybody loves their weight rooms. Strength coaches, A. Training room, B-. Training staff, A+. Locker room, B+. Team travel, B+. Good for 12th in the NFL. So, they're doing pretty good. There's some areas that they need to improve. Obviously.
Okay, keep that up for a second. I want to break this down. Now, food service / nutrition. How is that not A for everybody, right?
Well,
like
I can tell you how it's not an A for the Cardinals. I don't know specifically the Panthers one, but
okay. Most okay, he corrected. Thank you. Most Scala _ controller. Thank you. Most Scala controller. Most Scala controller. Thank you, because we like to pronounce names correctly here. All right. I'm sorry, Brandon Bazel. I've been saying your name wrong this whole time, but I'm going to fix it. Okay, I'll do better. A D though. How?
Well, I didn't read the specific one for Carolina for their food service, but I know that over in Arizona, where they got, I believe, an F- in food service, they they charge players. They deduct money from their paychecks if they want to box up dinner to take home, and if they want to come into the facilities to work out, like outside of hours, like in the off season or whatever, they get charged for all the meals that they eat at the facility, and they're the only team in the league that does that apparently. So they got an F. So it's not that bad, but it's only slightly better. Maybe they just need a new chef. Maybe they just got Bojangles in there. I don't know.
Brandon said half my family says it wrong, so no problem. It's like half our family says B's name wrong. That's an easy alley-oop right there. That's an easy layup. Carolina serving Chuck E. Cheese pizza. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you were docking their pay, but you're getting the food that they like, it wouldn't be a D. That's kind of crap that I got to pay for it, but the food is hitting. Yeah, you're really giving them Bojangles.
We just tell everybody to eat the Carolina barbecue if they want to get bigger or maintain their weight.
But you have to go out your way to have a negative grade there.
No, but look, okay, so Carolina has 1, 2, 3 A's, 4 B's, and a D.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good for 12th in the league,
and that's an easy thing to fix. Like, they could be way higher if they just
Moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, the outstanding organization, the pride of the NFL. We got treatment of families, C+. So y'all hating on families over there. Food service and nutrition, B-, not bad. Weight room, C+. How is that possible? It's just buying some new equipment, right? Put a stereo in there, you're good. That's an easy A. Strength coaches, F-.
Now, okay, pause right there, because I want you guys. I want you guys to understand something, and put me back on screen here. Look, I want you guys to understand something. F- isn't a real grade. F is the worst that you can do. F- is just spitting on somebody after you've knocked them out. Okay, that's all that is. They just wanted to spit on what's his name, on Saunders, Steve Saunders.
He's already gone.
He's already gone. They just want to let you know you suck and then some. Okay, all right, bring this back up. Bring this back up. That is, you want to talk about disrespectful. That minus, that little dash right there, that is disrespectful.
Training room, C. Again, how? Training staff, B+. Okay, not bad. Locker room and team travel, both A's. So doing well there. But overall, this landed this incredible organization at 17th in the league. So leading the bottom half of the league, for sure. They're the best of the worst.
I need to pause 1 second because we got a donation from Swimming in Iridium. I appreciate you. Says, I got a bad case of SDV. That is Stardew Valley, my friends. Stardew Valley is a game that has taken over the LBHT crew. We love that game. But we're not gonna really give it a plug because they don't pay us for it. But yes, we play way too much of it.
They don't have to give us a plug. All I want is a free copy of the new one. I said
we're not going to give them a plug because they're not paying us for it.
I know, and I'm saying I don't want them to pay us. I just want a free copy of Haunted Chocolatier.
But they haven't given us that either. So
well, that's because it's not out yet. I'm sure by then he'll have heard of the show and
oh yeah.
He'll send the key right over.
Shout out to Hendo says, who got it better than us? The team that trades for Lamar.
Yeah. 16 of y'all.
Okay, let's bring this back up because this is shameful. This really is shameful. You pride yourself on being a top-notch organization, and that has to be from the top down. It can't just be you're making the right deals and you're supposed to be player friendly. This doesn't look player friendly to me, right? Because these are the players. I know somebody in there didn't like that we said that they're not a top-notch organization. That didn't come from us. These are players saying this.
Yeah,
treatment of families
don't look good.
Yeah, treatment of families. That C+ to me. I'm not sure how many people they poll for this. I'm not sure they polled the whole team or
it was it's an NFLPA not a study but a poll, and they polled all the players in these different areas.
Listen, a C and below is really bad because a C+ tells me you're treating the top players well, right?
Yeah.
You're treating their families well because you value them. The ones at the bottom, either that or just the players that you like.
Yeah, the treatment of family should be an A or an F. Like anything below an A is an F.
Pass or fail.
How are you treating the families of the players poorly?
Yeah,
what is that?
I can understand. I can understand like a B only because you had disgruntled
people.
Some
haters.
Yeah. You got some Bernard Pauls out there that'll put F for everything just because, right? But a C+ that shouldn't really happen. Okay, food service, nutrition, B-. All right, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Weight room, but yeah, weight room. How is it not an A? Like, how do all these multi-billion-dollar teams not have the best facilities for your players? You want your players to want to hang around your facilities as much as possible. I would say, hey, look, I'm getting you the best food here, the best nutrition, the best weight rooms. I want you hanging out here as much as possible. I want to keep these players near our facilities, right? Mm-hmm. I've been to the Castle. That place is huge. What are all those rooms for? It looks like a castle. They call it a castle. It looks like a castle. What are they doing in there? What are those rooms for if you can't get your gym right? If you can't get your food and nutrition right. Because tie for 13th, that's not good enough. If you're supposed to be a top-notch organization, strength coaches, we know what that is, F-, and that's pretty telling too that they just now fired him.
Yeah.
So that tells you that they've been hated this man.
Yeah, like the Ravens realized that this was coming out this offseason, and they said we better get rid of this dude.
Right. What else was up there? Put it back up real quick. You had training staff B+. Okay, so outside C signers, they're fine. Training. Well, how you have training room C?
Well, no, the training staff I don't think would be like that's separate from the strength coaches. Those are the people handling.
No, I'm saying training room.
Right, the training room's a C, but I'm saying the training staff being a B+ is separate from Steve Saunders and his crew.
Yes,
because they're the strength coaches. The training staff would be guys handling treatment and recovery and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, and locker room A, team travel A. All right, that's cool. But man, that is not a top-notch organization, and you're not signing your best player that you've ever had. They're about to be at the bottom because it only gets worse, right? Like it's only this way when you're winning, and then when you're losing, everything else looks even worse. The food sucks.
Thanks, Mo. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, everything is worse when you're losing, and if you don't have Lamar next year, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be losing because you can't find a quarterback out there that we can sign that's going to be better than Derek Carr. All right. Nitro says because Lamar's mom's taking them for everything. Man, that is pocket change to Steve Bisciotti. What Lamar's asking for. Okay. What billionaires have, that money isn't real. It's only on paper.
Yeah.
Like you can't cash out $1 billion. Okay. And he's worth multi-billions over. Okay, that check, he can write that today. It wouldn't change his lifestyle in any way at all. This is just ego. It's just him standing on some ridiculous principle that he wants it a certain way, right? Extraterrestrial one over on Twitch. What's going on? Says, why Ravens fans want Lamar to get guaranteed money when he is injury prone and can't play a full season? Every single player in the league is injury prone. Every single player is injury prone. You can't get hurt. You don't get it. Okay. Hey, he doesn't get it. Because anybody can get hurt, and you can't find a quarterback that you can sign that's better than Lamar. That's really what it comes down to. That's what market value is, right? How much are other teams willing to pay him? And are you willing to are you able to replace him? And the answer is they can't replace him, and other teams are going to pay him, right? Yeah, Mahomes was hurt, but he got to a Super Bowl. Yeah, he had a great performance. Mm-hmm. Go get Mahomes then.
Yeah,
right. And you can't get Mahomes. You can't sign Mahomes. Well, I guess you better sell for Lamar then.
The other part of it is Mahomes got lucky. One, in that his ankle didn't get broken in that game, because it could have very easily been broken the way the guy landed on his leg. And also, he has a better coach and a better team around him than Lamar Jackson has. And the other part of injuries too, and games missed, and I always try to make this point with Christian McCaffrey, if you're losing, you don't really rush back, right? So like granted, Lamar was hurt. He almost needed surgery on his knee, so he wasn't coming back regardless. But this goes for just players around the league. Like, if your team is bad, if you're losing games and you don't really have anything to play for, there's no reason to rush back. It doesn't mean, oh, well, so-and-so is always missing games. It's just, hey, I'm going to come back. I'm going to stay out until I'm fully healthy, because there's no reason to come back before that. When you're playing for a better team, that changes sometimes.
Yeah. Marco G says, Bashai also owns a job recruiting company. Yeah, Aerotech. That screwed me out of a job. This man is a menace. Yeah, I know about Aerotech, man. That's where he got his billions from, not this team. He's a billionaire. Alex Rita says Lamar missing games at the end of the last 2 seasons is definitely a little bit of a concern, but definitely not a reason to not sign him. I don't see a concern.
Well, the other thing specifically with Lamar is stop running him so much.
Right.
Stop running him so much. Don't, because you're making him take a bunch of unnecessary hits that add up. Thank you for coming through, Extraterrestrial. Appreciate you. The hits add up. And the more you get hit, the more likely it is you get hurt, right? And then just wear and tear. Without Greg Roman there, I think you'll see a lot less of that.
When other teams who have top tier quarterbacks see them get hurt or get banged up, they go out there and get protection for them, right? We talked about Pat Mahomes a second ago. They lost in the Super Bowl a couple years ago to Tampa Bay, and the O-line was all banged up, and he was getting hit way too many times. And they said, we're going to just redo this whole O-line. And guess what? They're back. They went back to the Super Bowl and won it. Okay, invest in your offense. Like, before we can even talk about his injury concerns and all this stuff, like B said, you don't see concern when you're running him more than the running backs on your team. You had no problem with him being the leading rusher year in and year out. You had no problem not getting him weapons, not getting him protection. So so injury isn't really your concern, right? You don't care. You just want to use him up and then spit him out, and he's not allowing you to do that. Because if they get this deal done, B, somehow just miraculously, they're going to figure out that, man, we better start putting an O-line around our investment. We better start giving him something to work with, because we are tied to him. We have no choice. Like, we have no choice but to win with him, because we can't just spit him out. He costs too much. Yeah. Then they're gonna figure out, oh yeah, man, yeah, this your wide receiver core? Oh no. We gotta get you some help out here, right? Everything will become clearer then. So Lamar absolutely needs to stick to his guns and demand. Some people are saying he's asking for a fully guaranteed contract. according to Stephen A, his camp is saying they're not asking for a fully guaranteed contract. I would say fully guaranteed contract. I want, but not 230 million, 250 million, right? Fully guaranteed. And if I don't make it fully guaranteed, all right, 200, 210 or whatever, and a no trade clause.
Yeah,
you can't trade me.
Go ahead. No, I think for me, the fully guaranteed isn't a thing that I would be chasing necessarily. As it's on Coach's show, if I'm the players, I'm banding together, and going for the highest dollar amount possible, but just pressuring the owners to get rid of the cap so that they can pay players what they're worth and stop this charade of, oh, well, we can't afford so-and-so. Yes, you can. You don't want to afford them. You don't want to pay for them. But, there are sports all around the world that don't have salary caps where players get paid a ton more. They get paid their actual worth. And the NFL is not one of them. And the owners in the NFL don't want it to be one of them. Because Lamar is worth way more than he's asking for. Way more. But, they have fans brainwashed and they're thinking, oh, well, players should always take less. Players shouldn't go for their max value in any of these contracts because salary cap. How are you gonna put a team together? Well, get rid of the cap.
Yeah.
That's not being imposed on you by anyone else.
All right, we're gonna circle back to this, but first of all, shout out to Eric L over on Facebook showing us some love. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
UFC time. Okay, it's in the thumbnail. Jon Bones Jones, arguably the greatest UFC fighter of all time, is back. Okay, UFC 285. Is that what that is? UFC 285. I hope I got that right in the description. There's too many of these UFC numbers. It's way too high. But that is happening this weekend. We will be live streaming afterwards.
You sound real happy about it.
These fights don't end till about 1:30 in the morning. Okay. That is tough. But we will be up. We will be live streaming after the fight. He will be fighting Ciryl Gane for the vacant heavyweight title. B, what are your thoughts on this fight?
I think that it was another missed opportunity from the UFC. When Jon Jones first started talking about it, moving up to heavyweight, it was to fight Stipe Miocic, who was one of the greatest heavyweights of all time and was champion at the time. And he lost his title to Francis Ngannou in their rematch. And then it's okay, Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou, which is a mega match, right? That UFC could only dream about. They don't have very many events like that, throughout their entire history. But they didn't want to pay Francis Ngannou what Francis Ngannou is worth. So Francis Ngannou walked away from the UFC, vacated the title, and now you're fighting Ciryl Gane, who is a talented fighter. He's a talented fighter, but he's not a box office fighter, and he just lost to Francis Ngannou. Right, so he's not somebody who's going to sell pay-per-views for you. He's not the best at that weight. And, it's just, it doesn't have the same kind of buzz that an Ngannou versus Jones fight would have. Because people don't care or knows who Ciryl Gane is.
Ciryl Gane fought well against Ngannou when they fought. Like, he lost by decision. But also Francis Ngannou, he had like a torn ACL in that fight too.
Yeah, he was fighting on a torn ACL and won fairly easily.
Yeah. But that was Gane's first loss. He's a very skilled fighter, especially at that weight class. He moves really well. But Jon Jones he's different, man. And yes, he's been inactive. Like, that's the only thing that we can look at and have some doubt is that it's been 2 years?
3 years.
Since 3 years. 3 years of inactivity. But I mean, he's been showing that he's been trained the whole time. So I mean, he's not taking any hits. His body's healed up, and he has been training. Maybe a little ring rust or octagon rust. Might do him in.
Ring to it.
It doesn't. We'll call it ring rust. That might be the thing. But other than that, man, I just I see a dominant performance by Jon Jones, but we'll see. Look, and Raven C says steroid Jones. Here we go. It wasn't steroids, it was cocaine. Okay.
Oh no, it was steroids in one of the
Oh, that's right. When
Cormier
he knocked
fights.
out Cormier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This whatever steroids he took did not do the knocking out there. Cormier was going to sleep no matter what on that kick.
Listen, man. Listen. It's still cheating. And
it is.
This is the thing about Jon Jones, man. This is the conundrum that we have with Jon Jones, is that like he's just not fully committed to the sport, but he's clearly the best they've ever had. And like fights like that, like you didn't need to do that for Cormier. Now, granted, like Cormier, the first time they fought, that was a great fight. Mm-hmm. And in this fight too, Cormier started out really strong. Yes, you and I can sit here and say, yeah, he would have beat him without the steroids, but you took the steroids, and people are going to wonder because you're fighting that high level of a fighter to where people are going to wonder that, especially Cormier, and you robbed yourself and Cormier of a big moment there. And Cormier's retired now. I was going to say they have to run it back, but Cormier's retired. Could he come out of retirement? I guess, but I don't know. That part that I did not like, but even that aside, man, I mean, he's the GOAT. Yeah. He's the GOAT. I don't know who else. I mean, I put Spider Silva up there. I'm a big Spider Silva fan. I think him at his prime, that would be a great fight. But anybody else, I'm not even sure who you can compare to him. He said, yeah, second fight tested positive with DC. Yeah, it messed it up. You're absolutely right, Raven C. It messed it up, but that also goes to show how great he is.
Because I'm not looking to combat sport athletes to be good people. But
but I'm looking for them not to take steroids. That's the most dangerous sport to take it in.
Oh, it for sure is. And I'm absolutely not looking for people who decide to get punched and kicked in the head for a living to make good choices. So I did not get at all surprised when guys test positive for that kind of stuff. And honestly, I just assume that most of them are doing it.
Yeah. What's up, Andre Mears? He says, what's up, LBHT? I think GSP had a great run. Yeah, absolutely.
Until Dana ruined it. He would have been in the conversation for the greatest of all time also, but Dana ran him off.
Yes. Khabib is up there as well. Absolutely. He's the only fighter really that's in the conversation that finished his career undefeated.
Yeah, but he finished way too early. It's gonna be the knock against him.
Yes, but he's in the conversation.
It didn't really. I don't want to say he didn't have any wins over great fighters, but not a huge resume, No,
it's not. It's not.
But huge. That dude is scary, and pretty hilarious if you listen to him. That's a funny guy.
He is, and the fact that he's passing it on to Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, well, Islam lost, so he's not in the family anymore.
He didn't lose.
He lost.
He didn't lose.
He got the decision, but he lost.
Look, the way they fight, man, it's just hard to it's hard to beat, right? It's hard to beat.
It is. Unless you're Volkanovski, and who apparently can't be choked out.
He can't be
possible. Like everybody thinks that his windpipe is right in his neck, like everyone else, but apparently it's not.
You cannot choke him out. There's nothing you can do. But nah, man, like Khabib, he however you wanted it, he give it to you. But when he gets you on the ground, that's all she wrote.
They're like snakes. They're like cobra, or like anacondas. Yeah. They wrap around you and then just squeeze and don't let go, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, like especially Makhachev fights the same way as Khabib, but like when they get their arms around your ankles, I'm always looking at fight. I'm like, don't let them do that. What are you doing? Right? Like spread your legs out. I'm like, yo, like just spread your legs out, because as soon as they get both hands around their legs, they never let go.
Yeah.
Like it's like they never let go. It's the grip of death, and you cannot get them off, and they slowly work their way up top.
Yeah, it's like they're like anacondas. They just like they're swallowing you.
Yeah.
Once they get your legs, and props to everybody who's fought against them for trying to get out, because like you said, if I was in there with them, the second he grabbed my legs, I'm tapping. Like we don't need to go through the rest of this.
That's why I couldn't do MMA. I mean, I did a little bit of boxing, when I was younger. Did not no golden gloves or nothing like that. But MMA, the minute you get me on the ground, I am screaming. Okay, like screaming, like how dare you leave me alone? Don't touch me. All right, like I can't be pinned down on the ground like that, man.
No.
I salute all MMA fighters for getting in an octagon and having the patience when somebody is just pinning you like that against your will to not lose your mind.
I would be the dirtiest fighter of all time. I would literally gouge someone's eye out if they tried to hold me on the ground.
I would bite somebody,
biting whatever it takes. Get off of me. All right, you're not gonna hold. Like, look, you said you wanted to fight, and now you're holding me down like I'm about to be buried alive. That's not what I came here for. Right. Let's get
up. Say he came in at the wrong time. All you heard was spread your legs out. Gardner, we're talking about Khabib, like when Khabib and Makhachev, when they get their arms around your ankles, right? Like they're going to take you down. That's why I'm saying, like, you got to spread your legs out so they can't wrap their arms around you, because once they take you down, that's it. Yeah, she said, that's my purse. I don't know you.
I don't know you. Mike says, don't sleep on his.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. Mike says, don't sleep on my guy, Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira going to sleep in a few weeks, man.
Look, Alex Pereira is a good fighter.
In a month.
He's a good fighter. He came back and beat Israel Adesanya. Mm-hmm. He might do it again. I think he's in Israel's head. I don't know, but he uses his size. He comes to that octagon a lot bigger than his opponents.
Yeah.
If we're talking about a fight with him and Jon Jones, that just wouldn't happen, right? Jon Jones is just a bigger fighter.
Jon Jones would kill him.
He would kill him. he would kill Alex
Pereira.
Yeah,
he's an incredibly powerful puncher. Strikers in general. I mean, he's got deadly knees too, but he can't take shots like that. Adesanya almost put him out in round one.
He did, but he came back strong. He came back strong. Shout out to Alex Pereira. That wouldn't happen against Jon Jones. Jon Jones, he will wipe him in the first round. But hey, look, he's got a great win over Adesanya. You can't take that away from him. Khabib, look, because we're talking about the top fighters of all time. We're gonna have to do a top 10 list, right? But what puts Khabib on the list obviously is that win over Conor McGregor, right? And not just that, it's just how he did it, right? He just completely dominated him because he wanted to make an example.
Yeah, well, he dominated that entire division. In a very short period of time. He beat all of them and then quit.
Yeah. But with that being said, Jon Jones is greater than all of them. It's not even close. If you've never seen Jon Jones fight, go look him up on YouTube. He has some of the most amazing knockouts, submissions. He literally put somebody to sleep standing up against the cage.
Yeah, go look up the Lyoto Machida fight if you have not seen Jon Jones.
And Lyoto Machida is a great fighter. Yeah. He was a great fighter, right? He's retired now.
Right up until John got a hold of him.
He was still good after that, but I mean, everybody that fought Jon Jones at that point,
great. I don't know that you can be great when a man pushes you up against the fence and chokes you till you're unconscious and then drops you like a rag doll. I don't know how you come back after that and be great.
Yeah, that's So that's what's coming up this Saturday. We're both taking Jon Jones. And if you want to see our reactions after the fight, you're going to be up at 2 a.m., just tune in. We'll be here. All right. You'll get the notifications. Okay. All right. Enough UFC talk. We will get into why Lamar can't get a shootout. Oh, not yet. We have to get a word from our sponsors. Ourselves. Yes, it's that time of the show to let you know, okay, how you can support this show a little bit more. Thank you, everybody that's in here. We got about 80 people in here. We got some people over at Facebook. We got some people on Twitch. No, we can't. No, we can't do that, Brandon. We can't do that. All right. But look, we told you earlier, $ LBHT Show. That's how we do our super chat here. Okay. $ LBHT Show. That is our Cash App. Also, that pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our stream elements. Both ways. Leave your donation, leave your comment, and you'll get a nice little animation right next to my face. Also, if you want to support the show a little bit more, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. We have 3 tiers. Okay. And you want to be a part. You want to be a part of our growing community. All right. And B's going to tell you how you can be a part of it for as little as $3 a month.
I'm going to put up Mr. J's comment first. Thank you very much, Mr. J. Appreciate it. He says, from experience, their Carolina Panther hoodie is pretty comfortable. Recommend it for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that up. So we on the Patreon, we have the $3 tier, which is a general support tier, but will also get you into our NFL Pick'em League that we do every season. We give away a custom LBHT plaque now. It was a trophy before. It's a plaque this year. We'll see what's going to be moving forward. You might actually even get one that says Hendo on it because Jose was refusing to deliver this year's plaque to the current champion.
I'm so sorry. I met with Hendo and I forgot the plaque. I was so excited to see Hendo, and I was like, I'm forgetting something. Oh man,
the only reason I'm here. We also have the $10 tier, which gets you into our fantasy football league. We have a dynasty league going on right now. We also have just a regular redraft league for fun. The dynasty league, we play for the custom championship belt, and I'm talking slower so I can find the picture. There it is. That was for last year. Congratulations to Buck, who won the inaugural season of the dynasty league. So he's going to get to put his logo on one of the side plates. Going to be upgrading the belt for next season as well. So be on the lookout for that. It also gets you the LBHT Crew coin that Jose has right there. Look at that. Looking outstanding. Gold and silver.
Yes.
And then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show and our boxing podcast that we do with OTR Mike, Ring Kings podcast. That'll get you everything that I mentioned, as well as our custom poker set featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. And we did a series on the channel. It's a 5-part series. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody who came and helped us out with that and recorded with us, and definitely check it out if you haven't yet. And then, like I said, that'll get you everything else that I mentioned as well. And all of the tiers get you into the overtime show that we do following the live show every week, as well as entrance into our Discord server.
Yes. And look, speaking of Discord, okay, I talked about growing a community here. Discord alone is well worth it. Okay.
Yes.
Now this channel has grown, and a lot of people are in the chat. We can't read every comment like we used to, but if you go over to Discord, you go over to our Discord. That chat is going 24/7. We have all kinds of conversations in there. No matter what you want to talk about, we have different channels. No matter what you like, we can get a conversation going. Lots of good people in there, respectful people. So, the $3, once you sign up to our Patreon, you get access to Discord. That's essentially a one-time thing. So even if you decide, hey, this ain't, I don't want to keep paying a Patreon down the road, it's fine. We don't kick anybody out of the Discord unless you're being disrespectful. So sign up. It's well worth it. What's going on, Sterling? Sterling said, I blame veganism. He's talking about Hendo.
He's talking about for everything.
But also, okay, look. You had Mr. J's comment up there about the hoodie. Okay. Yes, he's got a hoodie. What hoodie is he talking about? Okay, that design right there. He's wearing a t-shirt version of it, but that's the hoodie right there. Okay. To keep pounding. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, go ahead and get you one of those. This guy looks really sad right now because he likes the shirt, but we told him he had to take it off after we finished the photo shoot. And he looked very sad afterwards. He's like, "Oh man, are you sure I can't keep it?" We're like, "Yeah, we're sure, man." He's like, "Oh." So that's what's going on with him right there. Also, the Raven City logo that you see right there, you can also get that on our store. Okay, right here, LBHTShow.com/shop is where you can get this merch. You like what I'm wearing right here? That's on the store too. You like what B's wearing? That's our Ring Kings apparel. We got a lot of stuff on there. So go check it out. We're constantly making little tweaks and upgrades to it, but if you see something that you like, go ahead and support. What do you want to say, B?
Oh no, I was just gonna say we also are talking about having some more tiers coming soon for particular kinds of followers. So keep an eye out for that. We'll make an announcement when and if that we get that ready.
Yeah. And one more thing. I told you guys earlier. Okay, we're going to give you some roundtable approved channels to watch on YouTube, because YouTube suggests all kinds of things to you guys. Okay, we want to make sure you navigate these YouTube streets properly. All right, safely. Okay, you saw our guy Chris that was in the chat earlier. Deep Cover Pod. That's the podcast where you can find him, Michael Crawford, and what's the other guy's name? Carrie. Yes, Carrie. I'm sorry, Carrie. I apologize. Deep Cover Pod is where you can find it. Dope podcast. Much smarter with football than we are. Okay. They can really break down the game for you. Also, our guy Hendo from Ravens Online Ungatekeepers. Okay. Check him out. Carrie Stevenson. Yes. I apologize, Carrie. I won't forget next time. Also, yes. Also, our guy, Open Mike with OTR Mike. That's the podcast. Go over there, subscribe there. You can find all of us every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here. Sip to Tally Films. That's Coach Evans' channel. Okay, go over there, subscribe. Also, you see Ravia C in the chat. He is close to 2,000 subscribers. He was 9 away earlier. Please tell me that you got him over 2,000. Okay, I see about 70 people in here. Please tell me that there are 9 people that went over there and hit that subscribe button to get our guy to 2,000 subscribers. Hendo was like 29 away. So go over there, subscribe. Look, another roundtable approved channel. Okay, Nitro, the Wonderkin Show. Now, shout out to Nitro. Nitro caught a little heat on Twitter this week, right? We sat back and we watched the smoke. People would kind of give you a little bit of smoke, right? Nitro is very animated. Okay, he's very spirited about this Raven stuff. Okay, it turns some people, it rubs some people the wrong way. He's got one more to go. Ravens, he's got one more to go.
I'm looking and it says 2K, Raven.
He's looking at the back end. It's probably But I will say this: YouTube does some funny things, right? It could be 2,000.
Congratulations either way, man.
Congratulations, yes. But people have been giving Nitro a little bit of smoke, right? I just want to say this, Nitro. As you grow, haters, it's just part of the business, right? If you don't like somebody's stuff, that's fine, right? That's fine. You don't have to go out your way to let them know. Yeah, appreciate it. You don't have to go out your way to let them know that you don't like them, right? People do that to us, and we give them exactly what they're looking for. We give them all the smoke, right? Mikey too. We don't play that over there. Nitro is way too nice. Yeah. He is way too nice about it, and that's fine. He's very respectful. He's a very cool guy. He's animated. It's fine. It's football. We're having fun with it, right? But go check him out, man. I think you'll like his content, right? He definitely gives you off a Stephen A. Smith vibe, but he's not as annoying as Stephen A. Smith. I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith, by the way. I cannot stand him. But people like him. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, yes, Mikey knows we come with the smoke. Go ahead and try us if you want. We got exactly what you're looking for. Yes, keep pushing, Nitro. And also living big with Big Reg. He gotta listen. He got a channel too. He just started out. We are very happy for you, Big Reg. We're very excited for you. Brand new. First video came out. Great job. Keep doing your thing, man. And we look forward to more content from you. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. B, why can't Lamar Jackson get a shoe deal?
Because he plays football.
Okay. You sure it's not because he doesn't have an agent?
Right. No. I'm sorry. Ask me again.
Hey, why can't Lamar Jackson get a shoe deal?
Because he refuses to conform to the established structure. He doesn't have a marketing firm, and now people don't want to deal with him, despite the fact that he is beloved and has a perfectly clean record off the field, is one of the most exciting players the league has ever seen. Shoe companies are like, damn, he's not paying them agents.
So, because it made me think back to the Big Baller brand, right? Mm-hmm. when Lamar Ball said look.
Congrats.
Oh, okay, 2000. He's at 2000 now. He's past 2000.
Congratulations.
Salute. Yes.
Salute. And thank you to everybody who signed up or subscribed.
Thank you. Really
and also, before we jump in, we also want to say, if you are a subscriber or follower of Engraven, hit up his Patreon. Don't mess around with YouTube memberships and super chats and nonsense like that. Go to Patreon and sign up with Engraven over there, because, man, YouTube out here, YouTube be bullying your favorites.
YouTube are some thugs. You guys already know. We listen, there's some thugs, right? That's just what they are. Support your content creators. If you're, yes, Engraven. If you're looking to spend money with him, he's working on some things behind the scene. He's going to give you some more ways to support him coming up. But in the meantime, Patreon. Go to his Patreon, sign up. He's got all kinds of tiers. So go over there and support him. Don't worry about memberships and super chats and all that stuff. Go over to his Patreon and support him that way, because he puts out way more content than anybody else. Okay, he's giving you more than enough reason to go there and support him.
Absolutely.
So yes, go do that. Go do that. All right. Yes. So LeVar Ball. I said Lamar Ball. LeVar Ball. When the Ball brothers were first coming out, they're getting shoe offers, right? Shoe deals. I don't think they had an agent, right? LeVar was dealing with all that.
I believe he was,
yeah, and they decided to do it on their own, which I respected at the time. They messed it up, but that's fine. But they didn't need an agent for shoe companies to approach them,
right?
So why is it they need an agent to approach Lamar and his mother to get a shoe deal done? That seems weird to me. So no shoe company wanted to go to Lamar, who's one of the most popular players in the sport, to give him a shoe offer because can't talk to his mother.
Well, again, it's a narrative that is getting pushed by the media and driven by agents, because the teams, the media, the agents, they all work together, right? Agents and organizations leak stuff to the media, so to get this whatever side of the story out that they want out. And if you cut them out, you're cutting out also people like Mike Florio, because he can't talk to whatever agent he's friends with, because he's not friends with the players. He's not going to get out from behind his desk and go establish a relationship with these, 22 to 30-year-old players. He gets it from the agents. So if you're not willing to, if you don't hire an agent and you're not playing that game, you're, cutting out the agents, which they don't like. And you're cutting out the media, which they hate more than anything, because they feel like they're entitled to know everything about you. So that's why you have guys like him and Chris Sims. They didn't even report that this was true, that he lost out on a shoe deal. They straight up got on TV and said, yeah, I mean, those are the rumors.
Yeah, and look, Mike Florio, he's such a slime ball. I mean, you just look at him, man. You just listen to him talk. He is such a slime ball. And it's obvious that he's that person that, hey, if you don't talk to me, I'm gonna badmouth you, right? And this came from Mike Florio. This is why we're talking about. Mike Florio put that out there, and Sims, kind of co-signed on it, right? I didn't like that either. But look, players obviously don't talk to Mike Florio. Like B said, he talks to the agents. But you know who else doesn't talk to Mike Florio? Shoe companies. So how can Mike Florio get on TV without talking to Lamar or any of the shoe companies and confirm any of this? He heard this from a agent that doesn't represent Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Where did he get this from? I'm pretty sure he doesn't know anybody at Nike.
Out there. It's just out there.
Yeah, it's common knowledge. Talking. Yeah.
I'm still by the way, for those of you who don't remember, still waiting on that Des Bryant video that he had seen and knew was coming in a matter of days.
Yes, yeah. Because back in the day,
it has been like 7-8 years.
Tell that story. Des Bryant was accused of like assaulting somebody outside like a Walmart or something.
A Walmart parking lot or something, and you know it was all over social media, and people were kind of freaking out about it because like it was going to be a big thing, and Mike Florio was fanning the flames, and Mike Florio got on there and said, "Yeah, no, I saw the video. The video's coming. The video's coming out soon." And of course, nothing ever happened because Mike Florio was a goddamn moron and like he's a slime ball and a liar.
Yeah, 100%. But there are certain people you don't have to read anything from them. You don't have to listen to them. You just can't trust them. And Mike Florio is that guy. You don't have to read into anything that he says. He puts stuff out there. And this ain't the first time he's made stuff up, man. He's made things. He's taken fake reports and posted them without checking the sources. Remember that he did that to that one guy?
Yeah.
No shoe company wanted him, but he has a huge deal with Oakley. Yeah, exactly.
That's weird, man. That's weird.
Yeah. Mike Florio will take anything that is said to him that he feels like he can use to make players look bad and put it out there without verifying anything. This is the most ridiculous thing in the world, right? Who's the source? Like he didn't say, "Hey, a source from
no," because they didn't have a source. They were like, "Oh, this is just that's the rumors that are out there. People know about it," and they weren't reporting; they were gossiping. And right. I was very, very disappointed in Chris Sims. I like Chris Sims generally. I like his analysis of college players, particularly quarterbacks. I think he's wrong a lot, but so is everybody, right? But I think he's not afraid to kind of go against the grain and tell you, what he really thinks, even if it's not in line with the rest of mainstream media. But I was very disappointed to see him just kind of, it looked like he wanted to tell Mike to pump the brakes a little bit, but he just went along with it. He was like, those are rumors. That's what people
say. So, and that's the other thing too. If it's possible that some companies approached Lamar and they didn't get a deal done, is that the deal falling through because he didn't have an agent or because Lamar didn't want to take the deal?
Right. Lamar has his own clothing line, his own apparel line. Maybe it wasn't going to work out with what he's already trying to build. Maybe that's all it was.
Right.
Because people in media and who report on athletes' business, they think that athletes have to go the established route, right? It was the same thing with Le'Veon Bell, where you had people just running calculations on how, oh man, he's losing X number of millions of dollars without factoring in that he is the person who has to go out on the field and get tackled 400 times. And if he doesn't want to do that in Pittsburgh, then it's worth it to him to take less money to go somewhere else and play in a role that he wants to be in. Yeah. Right. But, there's a whole generation of people where it's just dollars. That's all it is. And if you're not following and getting the absolute most and maximizing the dollars, then you're doing something wrong. And there's something wrong with you.
And Nitro is right. Chris Sims works for he works for PFT.
Yeah,
that's Florio's show. So he's got to be careful with what he says, but you don't have to co-sign either. You can just kind of just be quiet about it. All right, look, thank you for the reminders. Okay, hashtag no 2 hours. You guys think you're gonna get a 2 hour stream? Not over here. Not over here. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up soon. In fact, let's go ahead and let's do some quick NBA talk and then quick bonus time, and then we are going to do the overtime show. I didn't even load the preview, but
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But overtime show, which happens right after this show, what we're discussing tonight, cancel culture. Oh, and Dilbert is on the thumbnail. Why is Dilbert getting canceled? We're going to talk about that for a good reason.
Top Bill says, has an NFL player ever signed a sneaker deal? I can't recall. They get shoe deals, but they're not like, it's not like the NBA. Yeah. Like where that's more than their NBA income, the sneaker deals they get. It's not like that for other players. Players in all of the sports get shoe deals, but they're smaller. So I don't know what kind of huge shoe deal he would have been talking about anyway, but neither do they. So it's fine.
Okay. All right. Real quick NBA discussion here, because we were supposed to be doing an NBA stream. We didn't get to it this weekend, this past weekend, but we will get to it. We're going to give you some NBA streams. We're trying to build the NBA community here as well.
The hell we're not if it keeps going the way it's going.
Now, real quick, Lakers are doing bad. Nets are
doing bad.
We're doing bad. Our teams are doing bad. Okay, and when we do bad, we don't want to talk about it.
They got an injury. That's all.
That's all. Just an injury. Okay, LeBron James is out for unspecified amount of time. I think it's more of a, hey, you guys built this team up enough to where I could take a break before the playoffs, which is what we thought. Hey, they don't need LeBron to get into the playoffs. You're 2 games out of like 6th seed.
Well, I think it's more like 4 now because they went out and they lost the next game. And now tonight, AD has decided he wants to take the night off because he's AD. So tonight they're going to be without LeBron, AD, and I think D'Angelo Russell is still out as well.
AD, man, all these years of inactivity, you are well rested, my friend. You should not miss another
They better
game.
Get him the hell out of LA this summer. I put it in Discord like, trade him for Russell Westbrook. I don't care.
I don't
off the Lakers.
I don't like to question professional athletes' hearts because they are way tougher than me. But that man has no heart. That man has no heart. You know who else has no heart? Kevin Durant. Okay. Buck says decent Suns debut for Durant. Yeah, whatever. He's an excellent player. Obviously, he's got no heart either. You could say I'm hating. Whatever. I mean, look, you saw him choke when he was here. You saw him whine his way out. I mean, you feel good about that? I don't. Nets gave up 47 points in the first quarter points. Yeah, look, the Nets aren't a great team right now. They got a lot. I mean, their whole team got turned over. So they're going to have some up and down games. I'm not worried about them long term. All right. Now let me ask you this, Buck, because Buck is a diehard Suns fan. He's a diehard Suns fan. What happens if you guys don't win the championship this year or next year?
Win.
Okay. Win. What happens when that happens and moving forward? What's your team look like? Because I can tell you, moving forward, our team is going to look really well. It's going to look really good. It's going to look really good. So, talk that trash, man. You should. Your team is making you're all in for a championship. So talk your trash until it doesn't happen. All right, go for it, but it ain't gonna happen. Aaron Butler says, Jose, I do understand your your points about overall points, I guess, about Ravens options. All right, I'll get back to that in a little bit. I'll get back to that in a little bit. Let's talk some NBA right now. CP3 gone no matter what. KD trade is awful if Suns don't take title. It's not awful. It's the same thing for the Nets. The trade wasn't awful, right? The results didn't end well, but that move is a move you have to make. Or the signing wasn't a trade.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you something, Buck, that a lot of Suns fans don't realize. You didn't trade any stars to get Kevin Durant.
Right.
You traded a couple good role players.
Yeah, and they're showing that right now. I mean, they're listening to the Knicks. I know OTR Brandon's gonna be blowing up my phone. Yeah. Well, we still look. It's the third quarter. We still got time. But no, man. Yeah, you
Lakers are down 3 at halftime against Oklahoma City, so they're hanging in without any of their stars. So that's nice.
It's not an awful trade, right? Just because you don't get the desired results doesn't mean it's a bad trade. Like B said, you didn't give up anything really to get him, and he's way better than the players that you gave up. You upgraded your team. Now we don't believe in him, right? We don't think he's going to get it done, but it's fine. You tried. You play to win the game, right? That's why you do it. That's why the Nets went all in for KD and Kyrie, because they're trying to win. They're the ones that didn't hold up their end of the deal. They're the ones that want to go out there and play with no heart, right? And they're the ones that want to that wind their way out of Brooklyn. It's fine. It didn't work out. I don't regret them trying to do that. So only thing they can do now is try to rebuild that team again. I hope that doesn't make them gun shy moving forward and trying to bring a superstar to Brooklyn. That's my only thing. But other than that, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. So the Nets are done. I think that's kind of what I took from that. They're finished. But the Lakers, LeBron, they were playing against Dallas. They were down huge in the first half, down 27. They came all the way back. They won the game. LeBron hurt his foot during the game, came back, finished the game, and then afterwards they said, he's going to be out. They say indefinitely, essentially. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, but they don't think there's any chance of him actually coming back in 2 weeks. So it's going to be a little while. They're going to have to lean on Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell. Allow me to rephrase. They're going to have to lean on D'Angelo Russell because you cannot lean on Anthony Davis without him breaking, tearing, or spraining something. But I think that the roster is good enough with the trades that they made with Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt and Mo Bamba. And now Mr. J's guy, Lonnie Walker, will get back in the rotation now since he's been riding the bench. They're good enough to get them those couple of games to get them into the playoffs, right? Because all they have to do is get to the 10 seed. Now, they had their sights set higher before LeBron got hurt. You wanted to get up to that 6th seed. It was only a few games away, but now you're in survival mode. Just make the playoffs, and they should be able to make the playoffs. And hopefully, LeBron will be back if he's healthy and ready to go. Then you're still going to make a ton of noise in the Western Conference playoffs with that roster.
All right. Okay. Look, let's speed this up because we're dangerously close to 2 hours. Let's fire up a quick bonus time. All right. This is where we let you bring up whatever you want to talk about for a couple minutes, and then we're going to get out of here. And if you want to see more of us, you can see us on the Overtime Show, which happens right after this show at patreon.com/LBHT Show. Let me ask you, chat. There are 65 people in here. Okay. Hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Let me ask you, do you have $3 in your pocket? You do? Yes? All right. Just go right over there. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. For as little as $3, you can be a part of this awesome community, and you can hang out with us on the Overtime Show where we are discussing cancel culture and why Dilbert got canceled. That's right. And deservedly so. All right. Gabriela Perez says, Hola. Hand pink waving. Yes. And pink waving. Yes. She's trying to put some emojis in there. We've had an issue before. We got it though. But thank you for coming through. Mr. J said, I say the Lakers re-sign Hachimura, D'Lo, Vando, and Beasley to 3-4 year deals so they can have something when LeBron finally retires. What say you?
You are right on it, Mr. J. I'm not going to pretend that those guys are all great players. I think that Hachimura is a good, solid player. Vanderbilt, Beasley as well. D'Lo is a step above those guys. He's an all-star caliber player. So yeah, you absolutely go ahead and re-sign those guys. Get what you can for Anthony Davis this summer. Go ahead and move him on out. And they should be fine moving forward as long as they fire Rob Pelinka. I like what he did at the trade deadline, but you waited too long and you've done a terrible job the last couple of years. So he's still got to go.
Okay, there you go. I won't go back up to this comment from Aaron Butler. I didn't forget about you, my friend. He says, Jose, I do understand your overall point about Ravens options being limited if no Lamar. I get the point of the reality of Derek Carr or similar. If no deal is done, Ravens will be ridiculed for years. Exactly my point. That's exactly my point. There is no other option but to sign Lamar, and it shouldn't have never come to this. Even if they get a deal done, I'm not going to give this team praise because it should have been done 2 years ago, right? It was their own ego that got in the way. And, you wait until the final hour to try to do this, and all you're doing, even if they get it done, look at how long it took them and look at what they missed out on. Because if Lamar signed here, is Todd Monken still the choice at offensive coordinator? No, probably not. Right? Like it's affecting the other moves because they're wasting time with this. And also just look at how the team is made up. It is defensive heavy in terms of what they pay. OTR Mike I saw your comment earlier. I meant to put it up. But they spent like a total of $7 million on the wide receiver room, something ridiculous like that. If Lamar is fully ingrained into this team, he is your franchise quarterback. He's getting that huge deal. the budget goes over to the offensive side now because you have to make sure that he succeeds. So it affects the other decisions that they're making as well. So yeah, I don't respect or like anything that they've done. They've done a terrible job. Mikey wants to know how much you're going to give D'Angelo Russell.
So, I mean, look, NBA contracts are large, right? Jalen Brunson last season from Dallas got 25 a year, about to go to New York. He's not he wasn't an all-star. I don't believe he's ever made an all-star game, but he played really well. He played great in the playoffs. You're gonna have to pay D'Angelo that or a bit more, or right around that area. So I would say right around that 25, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, depending on how the rest of the season goes. But I think that's kind of where he's probably going to land, and I'm fine with that. Like he's a young, talented player. Again, he's not a superstar, but he's an all-star caliber player, and that's not going to prevent you from going out and getting a star to pair with him. So, like I said, I would probably think he's going to land right around that 25, somewhere in there.
All right, I'm gonna read a couple more comments real quick because we got about 2 minutes before we gotta get out of here. Attitude Pop says, wait, they can't be fired though because what will Bishotti fault? Because he already came out and said he's not giving Lamar that type of money. He upset and mad the Browns gave Deshaun that money. He didn't say he wouldn't give him that type of money. He said he wished the Browns didn't give him that type of money. John Berger says, would you compare Lamar's situation to the Brees situations? If so, do you think SD would have kept Drew Brees?
I wouldn't compare it because the thing with the Brees situation is Brees wasn't very good in San Diego. He turned it around, but from the beginning, he wasn't great. In his third or fourth year, he had a pretty good season, but they went and drafted Phillip Rivers. And then Brees had what a lot of people at the time considered a career-threatening injury. So that's why they let him walk. And he didn't have a lot of suitors, even in free agency. It came down to Miami and then New Orleans, and Miami got scared off by his shoulder, and so he ended up in New Orleans. So I wouldn't compare this situation to that. I don't think anybody's really concerned about Lamar health-wise, and he's a much better player than Drew Brees was at that point in his career.
Yeah, Drew Brees wasn't a unanimous MVP, and the Ravens don't have a first-round pick at quarterback on this team right now. So I mean, it's not the same situation, but good question.
And I'm gonna say that no, they shouldn't have kept Brees anyway because Phillip Rivers was better than him. So
he was. All right. With that being said, we are out of here. Okay, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and this is #no 2 hours here. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us in the chat. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you listen to the audio podcast, wherever you listen to audio podcasts, look us up and give us a follow. Also, give us a 5-star review. Okay, that helps the podcast grow. One Sessions is late, but that's okay. One Sessions, the overtime show is starting. Yes, catch the replay and also catch our overtime show. Danny, thank you so much for coming through as always.
D'Lo's making 30 a year now. Yeah, it's on his current deal. We're talking about his next deal, and sometimes your money goes down. But like I said, anywhere in there, 25 to 30 is fine. I don't think you get much more than that.
We'll wrap this up in the overtime show. B, are you ready? B is ready.
I'm ready.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.